So that is our big number today, and that is the hit that Nvidia reckons it's going to take first quarter from tighter U.S. chip export restrictions there. And Sherry, you know, the thing is, the Nvidia filing was overnight, but the government actually told Nvidia on April the 9th. And, you know, the way I look at it, this is probably the strongest sign so far of just how Nvidia's explosive growth could be slowed by these tighter and tighter export restrictions.
Yeah, so it's really unfortunate timing as well, really coincidental. AI, CapEx questions, and then tariff war happening at the same time. And of course, these chip restrictions really making things difficult and really leading to extra cost. But I do want to get into this particular chip that we're talking about here. So Nvidia is taking $5.5 billion sales hit as U.S. is regulating sales of H20 chips. This was downgraded AI chip. It's not so advanced as the others on this blacklist. So this was really the window, and the Trump administration is closing that loophole at the moment. So I think the Trump administration is sending some kind of a message that we're not going to be lenient. Nobody is off the hook.
Yeah, indeed, Sherry. And, you know, this just gets, the news sort of gets just tighter and tighter around Nvidia, right? Because the H20, as you pointed out, was, they came up with that in response to export restrictions, which took effect back in October 23. And the easiest way to think of this is sort of like, it's H100 Lite, right? And it's the H20 chips which are tailor-made for China for these export controls. And it happens to be the same chips that actually made it to DeepSeek and allowed them to do what they did.
Yeah, and, you know, something that I do want to point out here. So this is just a rumor that this hedge fund portfolio manager was talking about. So he watches the memory space very closely, and he was telling me just 2 days ago that H2 chips was something that China wanted to ban from importing into China. That is quite interesting because that means companies in China, companies like Huawei, for example, must have made some meaningful progress for them to make a decision like that. It's not official, it's just a rumor, but there is something out there in the memory space that is, of course, playing out here. So quite interesting. So is it really closing the loophole and sending a strong message? Or are they coming out with yet another restriction, but it may not really hurt Beijing as much?
Don't know, yeah, but I mean, the point about Huawei is interesting and well taken, Sherry. Jensen Huang, Nvidia's boss, has mentioned Huawei explicitly and publicly as a competitor a couple of times now. Anyway, look, you can read more about the story. All you have to do is get onto our digital arm, double click there, CNBC.com. Sherry?